Hi everyone, and welcome to the Scorpio January through February 2023 Illumination reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. So hi everyone and welcome. This reading is taking a look at the energy of the week ahead for you guys. We're going to be taking a look at first what you're bringing to the week, what's going on around you, and then we're going to be diving into the blocks, the challenges, and then the opportunity that's coming in for you. So let's jump right in, Scorpios. I hope you've all been having a wonderful week so far. We're heading into a beautiful Leo full moon that is going to be cathartic, it's going to be emotional, and it's going to be one where we truly get to release kind of those masks that we've been wearing that have been hiding or suffocating our true heart from shining forward. So we really get to step into our most courageous, authentic self by taking off those masks this weekend. So I hope you all embrace that. As I'm pulling the cards here, I am going to be putting out a reading for each sign for the new moon. So I'm sorry, for the full moon. So if you are interested in that, that will be released at the end of the week. And let's get in here. So we have your energy, Scorpios, really great energy here. We have the Three of Pentacles, which is one of looking towards the future as to what you want to build for yourself. It's also looking to see who you want to build it with. I like that. The Ace of Swords. This is going on around you. This is the energy of the week for you, which is a card of clarity, of truth. So there, and you have the Ace of Wands too. So we have two aces coming in here, one of inspiration and one of clarity. And again, that kind of mental aha. So this is a week that really could be profound for many of you in seeing what is time to walk away from on an emotional level with the Eight of Cups coming in, and what it's time to nurture, what you need now in your experience to emotionally connect you to that feeling of I love life, I love myself, and I'm ready to support that. And with the Three of Pentacles, this is now looking as a forward-facing energy, which I love. It's also one where there's a kind of a draw. Now, this is an internal energy, so if this was external to you, this would be where you might be being recognized for actually a talent you have. But I think for many of you with this internal energy, you're looking at it from what do I have to offer towards what I want to build. So this is a really positive week ahead for you guys. Ace of Wands, again, speaks to that fresh inspiration, that reconnection. It's kind of like relighting that internal flame within. And it's clarifying what, with the Eight of Cups, again, what it's time to, emotionally walk away from, what no longer serves us. And that is all in support of your cup. Now, I do feel like this is a continuation from last week. I feel like either last week or the week before, you guys did have a reading that really focused on, again, just walking away from what no longer emotionally fulfills you. And we all at some point in our experience have to go through that. I mean, I know I have in, many different ways, many different times in my life. But it's always a time where we get to really get back in touch with our cup. Why do we no longer want to pour our emotions into something anymore? Why is it no longer fulfilling? What need within us did we become blind to at some point? Yeah, we have the Eight of Cups again. So we have the Three of Wands and the Eight of Cups again. So the Three of Wands is your main block this week. The Three of Wands is the energy of your ships coming in. It's an energy of waiting to see. You've taken action towards something and now you're waiting. You're waiting to see what that action is going to bring forward. And it can be a card of opportunity. But when it's in a challenge position like this can be one of two things, where you're waiting and you're not taking action. It's kind of standing there like, okay, I know I need to do something, but maybe I'll just wait another 2 weeks to see if my workplace gives me that raise. When even in your heart of hearts, if you got that raise, it's not ultimately what you want. Eight of Cups, it's time to walk away from something. So there's something here around, kind of getting stuck in that place of waiting. Like maybe something will change. without me having to to kind of cut the, BS a little bit and time to walk away. So yeah, this could be like if you're in a relationship and you're like, oh, I'm just going to wait and see if things turn around. Like it's almost Valentine's Day. Like maybe I'll just wait and see if he or she surprises me and suddenly we fall back in love. And this is saying, no, it's time to leave this relationship, or it's time to leave this place of work, or it's time to stop living in this environment. Because what we have here with the Five of Wands in the heart of your reading, which is what Spirit's asking you to embrace, is change. It's the number 5 in the tarot. 5 is always the energy of change, but it's changing where you choose to take action and how you choose to take action. This is getting back out into the world when you've kind of been, I think, held back by, this can be that fear of, I don't want to walk away from my relationship because it means I have to go back out into the dating world again. Or I don't want to walk away from where I've been living for the past 25 years because then I have to get back out into the world and see if I actually know how to navigate the world of a new rental market or living in a new location, or you name it. Or I don't want to go out into the work world again because then I have to interview and then I have to, be in competition and I might have to show myself in a different way. And this is saying, if you keep doing it the way you've always done it, you're going to keep getting what you got. This is doing it in a new way, taking action in a new way, getting out there into a healthy, open competition and seeing what you're made of. And it's going to bring out something beautiful within you, the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is fiery, passionate energy. I always speak to it as kind of the witch archetype in the tarot. It's realizing your own magic. Here's the ace. Here's the wand. Here's that fresh inspiration. She takes that and manifests with it. You can see here, she is like holding the flame and she's like, it's not burning her because she's magic. So there's something here with getting out into the open market, getting back out there again. You're going to realize, I think, a part of yourself that's been long, the flame has been low. You've forgotten the magic you have because you've been waiting for that magic to come in for you. And yet it's a little bit of like the Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. The magic has always been within you. And for your final point of challenge here with the Two of Pentacles, this is taking a look at your day-to-day. This is, kind of the magic is in the small things. The Two of Pentacles speaks to also making a choice as to where you want to prioritize your time and energy. Are you prioritizing what you want for yourself? Are you prioritizing the pentacle that you would bring to a group of people? So you see 3 individuals are working here. They each bring their own pentacle, their own talent, their own gift, what they have to offer to the building of what they are looking forward to the future to build. Are you dedicating yourself to that? And that's what the Two of Pentacles speaks to. Can you make that choice as to where you want to prioritize your time and energy? Now, this could be for some of you. Maybe you've been having a side hustle for a long time and you've been kind of tiptoeing, waiting for that big break to say, okay, it's time to leave your 9 to 5. But ultimately, would you have been focusing on that side hustle so much if you had been happy with your 9 to 5? This is saying clearly no. So maybe now is time to shift focus to say, maybe I'm going to just do my side hustle 100% of the time, and I'm going to focus more time there than spending, let's say, than staying late at my current job. I'm going to prioritize that time in the evening towards my business. There's something here around that there's this shift, but it's also being very clear as to what no longer serves you and getting into that place of action, taking action. It's not just enough to emotionally feel you're done with something. Now you have to take the action to walk away. And that's where you're going to reignite your fire again. You're going to actually, I think, also come face to face with that manifesting part of yourself that maybe you thought didn't exist or that you forgot about. Or sometimes for some of you who are young enough, maybe you never even knew that existed within you. And this is going to be that first chance to experience that within yourself. Okay, so let's go ahead and see the Three of Wands. What does Scorpio need to know about the Three of Wands? The Emperor. Yeah, for some of you, you've been holding yourself back by, like you can see in this image here, there is the individual who looks like he's been stuck in a box and he's too big for it now, and he's trying to throw it off. And I think for many of you, you've trapped yourself inside of following the rules, following somebody else's rules for a long period of time with the emperor. That there was something in your life that represented the emperor, somebody removing the power away from you as the emperor in your own life to your own empire. And it's time now to throw that off. Instead of waiting for someone else to kind of throw that off or make the change for you, it's time for you to do that yourself. Because here we have the Two of Pentacles again, the Two of Coins. This is saying that you've been kind of lost in the day-to-day shuffle. You were kind of just going in and doing. That's what the Two of Pentacles can speak to as well. Just that constant juggling of doing this, doing that, going to work, coming home, making dinner for the family, going to work again the next day. It's just doing without prioritizing what's right for your empire. So now it's time to get out of that cycle, I think, for many of you. So let's take a look at what you're walking away from. What is this Eight of Cups? And remember, what you're walking away from is in protection of your cup. Again, your needs, your hopes, your wants. If that relationship is not emotionally fulfilling, well, to walk away from it holds your needs, dreams, and wants sacred, saying someone else will be there. I will meet someone else down the line who will meet those needs, but I'm not going to allow my cup to be ignored when I'm trying to pour from it into someone else's or something else. Same thing with the work environment. If that work environment is not honoring you, well, then you need to honor yourself. So yeah, Chariot and the Hanged Man. I think for many of you, and it's interesting because this came up, I think, for Sagittarius, I believe. But this is where you are moving towards something, the Chariot. You are moving on down the road. And suddenly, with the Hanged Man, there's a forced change in perspective. And this is a divine forced pause, a forced change in perspective to see that maybe where you were going was not ultimately the right way for you. And now you might be seeing this is a course correction. This is like maybe where you were like, okay, I'm going to go down the line and I'm going to, work my way up in this career path. And suddenly you realize, but I don't even like doing what I'm doing. So now I have to stop and see, do I now change direction? What feels, and a good question here is, what feels more like home for me? Because that's what the Chariot is going. The Chariot is movement, but the movement is ultimately directed towards what feels like your ultimate home. This is driving home. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be driving towards a house with a family or something along those lines, or towards your family. This is what feels most authentic to you. If you could just show up, get out of the Chariot and show up into like the heaven of your dreams, what would that look like for you? And I think for many of you, you're realizing where you're at now is not that. So now you get that beautiful chance to course correct. And for many of you, you might have felt like you've been in this forced kind of stalemate energy. That's the Hanged Man. This is where Spirit's like trying to say, I'm not going to let you go any further. You're not going to get that promotion. Your significant other isn't going to propose to you. This isn't going to happen because you need to see that this isn't right for you. And that's the beauty of it can be frustrating. I get it. But it's all so that you can see through the eyes of Spirit what's better, what's in your best interest. Okay, let's see about this Five of Wands. What do you need to know about getting out there and doing it differently? Getting back out there into healthy competition. Yeah, there's worry. Nine of Swords, Eight of Coins. So we have Page of Wands, Knight of Wands, Eight of Coins, and then the Nine of Swords. Yeah, there's a worry. That's what the Nine of Swords speaks to. It is scary to go out there. It's scary to go and want to kind of take this energetic, fiery, free, loving energy. You want to work towards something. This is tangible. This is Eight of Coins. This is working diligently towards something. But yet there is this fear of, well, what if I do go out there and I do this and I do make that change? Well, what if? What if what I'm building doesn't come to fruition? What if I do choose to go into a new partnership? What if I do go to a new business? Or a new place of work, or I moved to a new location, and suddenly, what I felt was so exciting, I got into being excited with the Knight of Wands, and I got out there and I was feeling it, doing what I wanted. And what if it doesn't work out? But that's a what if. The Nine of Swords are just thoughts. This is when we get into that place of anxiety where, yeah, what if? What if the sky falls? What if there's a nuclear holocaust? What if there's, you can just what if yourself into a place of eternal anxiety. Or you can say, what if I'm here to trust and honor myself? What if this whole journey is meant to unlock my magic? And what if my magic wand can literally change the world, that I can turn around and maybe the sky is falling and I can just wave my wand and repair it? Yeah, with the world coming in, there's a hard stop. There's a hard stop here to a cycle that did not allow your queen, your inner Queen of Wands, to be seen. And I like that you literally have the Page of Wands to the Knight of Wands to the Queen of Wands. You've been steadily working towards, there's a progression here of the beautiful kind of optimistic, childlike, youthful energy, then going out there and just doing what feels good with the Knight. And then you're getting into this stable, receptive place of, well, wait, what do I get? Now it's not just kind of going with the flow. Now it's, what do I want to bring? What do I want to manifest? What do I want to build with others? And there may be a fear too for some of you of having to walk away with the Eight of Coins of what you've been working diligently at in the physical. And this is saying whatever that was, it's come to an end anyways with the with the world. And it doesn't mean that you can't take one pentacle that you've been perfecting there, because what that card speaks to is perfecting something. Take one of those that is your skill set and bring it into a new environment. Let's see if anything else wants to come out. I think that's what many of you are feeling. I do get that intuitively. Like, what if I have to walk away from this, and I've worked so hard. Yeah, and there's the fresh inspiration. There's the wand again, Ace of Wands, brand new inspiration. If you got to leave that old cycle behind and start from day one today, what lights your flame? What can your magic wand do? Can your magic wand, think about what lights that inner spark within yourself. What are you passionate about? Can this magic wand create artistic masterpieces? Can this magic wand save every animal who's in distress? Can this magic wand build a beautiful home and family life for yourself? Can this magic wand fight inner city poverty? There's something here that goes deeper. When we understand our own magic and we tie into that passion that lies within us, and we realize, yes, a single individual does have that kind of power, but it specifically has that kind of power when you look to what you want to manifest just for yourself. And here comes the Ace of Swords. Here's the truth. Clarity right here. 2 aces of swords. You have a lot of aces, but they're 2 aces. You got the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Swords. Inspiration and clarity as to where maybe you haven't been prioritizing and where you can make a change in what you do day to day. It's a change in the small things. That's a few too many cards there. We'll see if we can get a little less. I think for some of you too, it's the truth of what you've been hiding. You might have been hiding your passion in just getting lost in the day-to-day. Like, you didn't want to see this part of yourself. This could be where there's like that whisper of, but I want to create. But I know there's more passionate romance out there for me. This is almost like I feel like I'm seeing just in my mind's eye the scene from Beauty and the Beast where Bella's like, running up to the, through the meadow, and she's like, I want great adventure in the great wide somewhere, or something like that. There's something in you that is yearning for that more, yearning for that expanse. And it lies within instead of without. And I think that that's going to be kind of this realization for many of you of you that yearning is for your passion to be expressed, for your magic, for you to remember that is your magic. Our passion, our singular passion is our magic in this life experience. And it is some of the most powerful that when you think about it, you can bring that into every part of it's something that can actually truly be a legacy maker. So keep that in mind for yourself. Now we have the Seven of Cups with the truth here. And I think for many of you, this has kind of been in the illusion that you've been stuck in. Now it's interesting. I did Taurus's reading right before your sign reading, which is your natural seventh. So it's your opposing sign on the Zodiac wheel. They had very many of the same cards, similar message, but different. And for you, with the Seven of Cups coming in, there is this illusion of looking without, sort of like just looking at your cup. It's kind of like, okay, well, I could do this, or maybe this might feel good, or it would be great if I could try that, or I could try this. And the truth is it lies within, not without. And that starts then with when we have that clarity and that realization, it's like, well, aha, this is what I want to work with. This is what I want to build. This is my gift, my pentacle I get to bring to the situation. So now how every day am I going to prioritize that just a little bit at a time? And that's the clarity you guys are going to get this week. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to pull a final card here for just a final message for the week. Let's see, what does Scorpio need to know? We have Beaver Spirit, lay a solid foundation with the number 6. I love that. The number that speaks to the energy of love. And also for me, it's creating abundance or understanding how to create in the physical plane. And I might do a whole nother video on going over numerology and numbers, but it's a beautiful building energy. Then we have White Raven Spirit, trust in the magic, double number 6, 66, which breaks down to the number 12, which to me is the number of divinity, of God, of spirit. But I love that it says trust in the magic. And this is trust in your magic to manifest. Lay a solid foundation for that. And then we have Parrot Spirit, watch your words, number 45, breaking down to number 9. This is the number of endings, but also gleaning the lessons from a cycle that has ended and getting ready to pull them forward into the new cycle. And I'm going to pull some clarifiers here. With the watch your words, to me, this card always speaks to understanding the power of our voice, of the word, whether this is what you write, whether this is how you speak, and that what we speak and write can be made manifest. So keep that in mind. If you want to work with your passion, well, then start to speak from that place, start to write from that place. This can also be where we're trying to manifest, like we're not happy in our relationship, but instead we speak out loud, yeah, but all relationships suck anyways. And that's not manifesting a positive relationship. So keep in mind that what we speak and how we speak it, how we word it, is very important. And it's interesting because I was actually part of a group. I'm just going to share this with you because I think it might be helpful. I went to a mom's meetup group, but that is based in a religious Christian faith. And they were speaking in that group to the power of prayer, but kind of just like meditation and when we speak mantras, they were going into how to phrase those prayers to achieve a better result or to get more clarity as to what you're actually praying for. And I'm a big believer in the power of prayer. It doesn't have to be tied to a specific religion, but it's the same as saying mantras. It's the same as bringing in a guided meditation. And it does speak to, again, how our minds and our physical being, how we phrase things directly impacts what we draw towards us, but also how we interact with those words. So when you think about it, I don't know, for many of you who might be, into psychology, there is that kind of the positive psychology element of, and those are way too many cards all mixed up. We'll see if I can get some more here. They're a little different. If like, let's say you want to remember to take your keys with you that you left on the kitchen table before you walk out the door. Well, instead of saying over and over again, don't let me forget those keys, don't let me forget the keys, you instead say it in a positive way of, I want to remember to bring my keys with me. I will remember to bring my keys with me. And so you're using the positive part of that. I will remember to, instead of I don't want to, or please don't let me. So there can be something about that too, for those of you who work with mantras or who just work with even the power of prayer, to really look at what you're praying for or what you're speaking into existence. Yeah, and this makes sense because of the Five of Wands, this is where you're getting out there to show yourself differently. So this would be like if you're going out to interview for a new position, this would be speaking to others about what you're passionate about instead of what you didn't like about your last place. You might say, yeah, it was a great place to work, even if it wasn't. And I learned a lot about myself, but I did realize that I now have a passionate part of myself that wasn't able to be expressed. And I would love to find a place that I can bring that passion in my experience to. And that's a great, way to start to embrace the new you. Start to speak from that place of what you love, what you're passionate about. And it's very difficult for people to look at that negatively when you are in that place. Again, of speaking vulnerably about yourself from a positive place. Six of Swords. I love that. Yeah, moving on. There's a feeling here of if you can truly just move on from what you're having to walk away from, that it's going to make it very easy for you to get excited about what you're moving towards. This can be like where, maybe you have been burned out in a work environment. Or maybe you're even retiring and now you're getting out there to do something different. But this is instead of like looking back and saying, ugh, it was so stressful and it was awful and I, don't want to do that again. This is saying, I learned a lot. It was a long period and some of it was great and some of it wasn't. But you know what? I get a chance now to do something differently, to honor myself, to get back in touch with my magic. And I'm excited to see where that's going to take me. Now, with the trust in the magic, we have the Hierophant, the Nine of Swords, and the Seven of Wands. Yeah, for many of you, this is around a fear of kind of breaking away from the norm, from what maybe society has pressured you to do, what family has pressured you to do, maybe even what your religion has pressured you to do, because that's what the Hierophant speaks to. The kind of norms that we submit ourselves to follow. And with the Swords coming in, there's worry about that. Like, what if I don't, what if I choose to leave a career path and I don't have a 9-to-5? And maybe I'm going to do something like tarot read for a living. Maybe people are going to look at that. How is that really going to manifest? But if that's working with your magic, then work with your magic. And the Seven of Wands says, defend that. Defend that action that you want to take on behalf of yourself, even if it goes against norms. Remember, we're coming up onto a Leo full moon that's all about getting into the heart space and releasing anything that's not allowed that courageous part of yourself to be seen authentically. So really keep that in mind. Wow. Okay, and then for laying a solid foundation, we have the Artist, which is my favorite card in this specific deck. So the Artist is a card unique to this deck. And it speaks to you are the artist of your own life experience. What do you want it to look like? What do you want to create? And I like that it also has the little winged Mercury element here. There's an element of going out there and communicating from that place of making it happen. And the Eight of Pentacles, there's the hard work. And I think for many of you, again, you've thought that all that hard work wasn't going to be worth anything. And it's saying, no, keep at it. Keep at it. But do so now with an eye to what you want to paint for yourself, what you want the vision of your experience to look like, and lay a foundation for that to manifest. Beautiful energy, Scorpio. This is a very clear reading. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're looking forward to reconnecting with your magic And if you'd like to book your own personal reading, you can click on the link in the description box below. We can dive a little deeper into the magic that you're bringing into your experience this year. Otherwise, I will see you all in next week for your next illumination reading. Bye, Scorpio.